1. Darkseid, infected by Cyborg, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors. 2. DCEASED, vaporized by Darkseid. 3. Nightwing, infected off-panel when he and Red Robin accidentally looked at a screen, shot by Alfred off-panel. 4. Tim Drake, infected off-panel when he and Nightwing accidentally looked at a screen, shot by Alfred off-panel. 5. Bruce Wayne/Batman, infected when Nightwing bit him, later shot by Alfred. 6. Aquaman, infected when a bunch of zombies jumped him whilst exploring a stranded ship, later shot in the head by Green Arrow with an arrow. 7. Joker, infected when he accidentally looked at a screen, shot in the chest by Harley Quinn afterwards. 8. Hal Jordan, infected when he accidentally looked at a screen, died when he got hit by a canary cry from Dynalance. 9. Batwoman, infected when she accidentally looked at a screen, later crushed by vines from poison ivy. 10. Barbara Gordon, infected when she accidentally looked at a screen, later crushed by vines from poison ivy. 11. Huntress, infected when she accidentally looked at a screen, later crushed by vines from poison ivy. 12. Catwoman, infected when she accidentally looked at a screen, later crushed by vines from poison ivy. 13. Tempest, infected when blood from infected Atlanteans came in his lungs, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors. 14. Clayface, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen, likely died when Superman hit him with his laser eyes. 15. Jonathan Kent, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen, lasered to death by Superman. 16. The Atom, infected when he swam through the blood of an infected woman, later vaporized by Captain Atom's explosion. 17. Captain Atom, infected when Ray Palmer attacked his blood cells, later self-destructed. 18. Amanda Waller, vaporized off-panel when Captain Atom blew up. 19. Giganta, infected off-panel when she accidentally looked at a screen, later shot through the head by Cyborg. 20. Killer Croc, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen, later had vines from poison ivy pierce through his body. 21. Lex Luthor, cut in half by an infected Martian Manhunter. 22. The Flash, infected when Martian Manhunter scratched his back, died when Superman slammed into him at top speed. 23. Superman, infected when fingers of an infected Flash pierced in his skin, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors. 24. Queen Apolleta, infected when she got overwhelmed by infected Atlanteans and Amazons, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors. 25. Wonder Woman, infected when an infected Superman gutted her. 26. Captain Boomerang, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors off-panel. 27. Chaz, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen, burned to ash by John Constantine with magic. 28. Fire, infected off-panel when she accidentally looked at a screen, extinguished by Zatanna and splattered against a building. 29. Ice, infected off-panel when she accidentally looked at a screen, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors. 30. Big Barda, infected by a horde of zombies off-panel, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors. 31. Mr. Terrific, cut in half by an infected Big Barda. 32. Booster Gold, faded away from existence after time was altered in which he was never born. 33. Ted Kord Blue Beetle, infected when Big Barda slashed into him, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors off-panel. 34. Wave Rider, slashed to pieces by infected people. 35. Perry White, infected when he accidentally looked at a screen. 36. Black Adam, infected when a child scratched his human form in the chest. 37. Nightshade, infected by zombies off-panel, stabbed in the head by Pied Piper using his flute later on. 38. Max Mercury, infected when a zombie slashed him whilst saving Impulse. 39. Kite Man, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen, accidentally flew into the invisible jet and fell to his death. 40. Manticore, infected when a bunch of zombies slashed him in the back. 41. Hawkman, infected off-panel when Manticore attacked him. 42. Atom Smasher, infected when an infected Black Adam flew through his shoulder. 43. Black Manta, infected when a zombie scratched him. 44. Stephanie Brown, lasered in the chest by Black Manta. 45. John Johns/Martian Manhunter, infected when he was slashed by Black Adam, later burned to death by Firestorm. 46. Man-Bat, infected off-panel when he accidentally looked at a screen. 47. Harvey Bullock, infected when a zombie slashed his face, neck snapped by Cassandra Cain. 48. Vandal Savage, ripped in half by an infected Wonder Woman. 49. Captain Cold, infected when Wonder Woman attacked him off-panel, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors off-panel. 50. Mirror Master, infected when an infected Captain Cold bit him in the neck, killed when Cheetah punched through his head. 51. Shazam, infected off-screen when he accidentally looked at a screen. Shot to death in his human form by Slade, Ravager, Red Hood, and Deadshot. 52. Deadshot, infected when an infected Mirror Master pulled him through a mirror and bit him. Died off-panel by unknown causes. 53. Bane, infected when an infected Mirror Master attacked him. Later had his head ripped off by Solomon Grundy. 54. Lady Shiva ripped out her own heart before she could get infected. 55. Cheetah, throat crushed by an infected Wonder Woman. 56. Creeper, head ripped off by Wonder Woman. 57. Solomon Grundy, eaten alive by zombies. 58. Deathstroke, died when Wonder Woman slammed through him. 59. Green Arrow, infected when Wonder Woman attacked him from behind. Cured later on. 60. Arsenal, burned to death by an infected fire. 61. Plastic Man, infected 5 years before when he accidentally looked at a screen. Later burned to death when Zatanna directed Hellfire to him. 62. Zatanna Zatara, killed by an infected Plastic Man, cured 5 years afterwards by the survivors off-panel. 63. Blue Devil, killed by an infected Plastic Man. 64. Ragman, killed by an infected Plastic Man. Later had his cloak worn by John Constantine. 65. Deadman, sucked into Ragman's cloak by John Constantine. 66. Red Hood, broken in half by an infected Captain Marvel Jr. 67. Wizard Shazam, knife thrown into him by Rose Wilson. 68. Captain Marvel Jr., beaten to death by a magic-powered Cassandra Cain. 69. Amazo Droid, head blown off by Damian Wayne. 70. The Penguin, choked to death by unknown reasons. 71. Professor Evo, stabbed in the chest by the Penguin off-panel. 72. John Constantine, stomped to death by Trigon. Later became Deadman for a brief moment. 73. Trigon, stabbed himself after John Constantine posseed him. 74. Several Brainiac probe droids, smashed apart by Clark Kent and John Kent. 75. Highfather, infected by Darkseid. Later killed by the Spectre/Alfred Pennyworth. 76. Orion, infected by Darkseid. Cured off-panel by the Spectre/Alfred Pennyworth. 77. Light Ray, infected by Darkseid off-panel. Later had his head ripped off by Lobo. 78. Maxima, infected by Darkseid off-panel. Cured off-panel by the Spectre/Alfred Pennyworth. 79. Sinestro, head ripped off by an infected Darkseid. 80. Mr. MXYZPTLK, infected by the anti-life equation. 81. Jon Stewart, crushed to death by an infected Mr. MXYZPTLK. 82. Kilowog, crushed to death by an infected Mr. MXYZPTLK. 83. Leslie Tompkins, cut down and infected by Adam Strange. Cured later on by the Spectre. 84. The Spectre faded away after Mr. MXYZPTLK tore out its host. Revived after Alfred Pennyworth became the new host. 85. Jim Corrigan, suffocated in outer space after Mr. MXYZPTLK tore him out of the Spectre. 86. Mr. Miracle, punched through the chest by an infected Jacob Free. 87. Damian Wayne, infected by Highfather. Cured later on by the Spectre. 88. Brainiac, infected by Darkseid. 89. Damian Wayne sacrificed himself by creating a new Big Bang to destroy Erebos. 90. Erebos, killed after Damian recreated the Big Bang inside of him.